Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining me. It's January the 9th, 2012. Very important video, so I want you to stay with me here for a moment. I'm going to put a link below in the description box. I always provide you with a link to a website I think you're going to find very much informative and of a great deal of interest to you, the people. As your watchman on the wall, I spend a great deal of time searching various news articles, mostly alternative news, to find out what's going on really in the world. Mainstream media tries to cover, they cover a lot up and they sweep it under the rug. So I look elsewhere, alternative news sources, to see what's really going on in the world. And it doesn't seem like a whole lot is happening in 2012 compared to how 2011 started off. I brought you the story about 2012. The birds, again, red-winged blackbirds fell out of the sky. But, you know, I've seen reports going around, and I take a lot of heat, but that it was 5,000 just like last year. And I have confirmed from my information, the information that I'm getting, it was 400 was the total tally. And then we had the story of the 20 tons of fish washing ashore. I brought you that story in Norway, and the very next day they were gone. Now, in the picture, in the article that and everyone's seen it, there's a dog standing in the middle of all these fish, and clearly it's photoshopped in. I even had the photo looked at by a professional, and they told me it's photoshopped in. The next day they're gone. And, you know, we don't live in Norway. We don't know what really took place there. And with that said, I've been looking all weekend, and there's really not a whole lot going on. I looked this morning, and I think fellow watchman on the wall, my main source for news, single dad living for Jesus, I think he may, I don't know, I haven't talked to him. He may be scratching his head too. He's given me a few stories to bring you today. But it doesn't appear that there's a lot going on. Now, with that said, I was surfing the web this morning, and I came across a video, and included as a website, and it's from, and I subscribe to them. I suggest you do the same. A little rough, my Christian brothers and sisters, on the language, but very informative. UFO Hunter Org UK, UFO Hunter Org UK, and I'm going to put the link below to his website. Now, I spend a lot of time on alternative news. Now, I'm just wondering, since I passed this NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, if any such talk about the NDAA is being censored, even through alternative news. And I'm not going to mention the website that I go to quite often, or I did, rather, and I don't think I will go again. It's all going to be in this website below. I guess a report came out on an event to take place, and or an event that's happening right now, and the post was removed. The post was removed from an alternative website, and I just really don't buy their reasoning. Let me give you what I can. According to UFO Hunter Org UK, militias declare war on the United States. And I'm going to let you read the, I won't read it all. It appears the government and this alternative website are censoring posts about the NDAA. And he did a search, and he found the post that got deleted from this alternative website, which I used to frequent a lot. I'm going to play an audio portion of a video, and it's on YouTube, and a lot of you may have already seen this. Bear with me. Now, I want you to listen real closely, because I believe it was censored for a reason, and I'm just wondering now, what is really going on that we're not being told about? Are we being kept in the dark now regarding, even with the, when I brought the story to you and saying I can't find any confirmation on alternative news or the troops have actually landed 9,000 or more in Israel for these war drills. I found where they were preparing to be deployed, and I guess now it has come out. But even today, I'm searching Jerusalem Post and various websites coming right out of Israel, their news, and they're not talking really about this at all. They're talking about other topics. But I want to play an audio portion, so I think you need to know what's going on in the world. And I want you to listen very closely, and I'm going to put the link to this entire website below where you can have all the information for yourself. Because I'm watching for end-time Bible prophecy, and we've seen what happened last year. And I'm being honest with you. I'm just going to be honest with you. Doesn't appear, and I'm going to stress that word appear, that there's a whole lot going on. January 2012, I can't find hardly, it seems like the earthquakes have died down. I was going to bring you that report this morning, and not a lot of earthquakes to report. I think I found 4 or 5 this morning. Usually it's a page long in the morning, and by afternoon and evening, it would take a whole video just to bring you the earthquake reports. Are we being kept in the dark? Is something going on, and we're not being informed of world events and news that's really going on? When you go to mainstream media news, all you're looking at is who's running for president and what their campaign is, and it's a bunch of nonsense. We all know what's going to happen. But let me play this video for you, because I think it's very important, and I think you need, as American citizens, we the people, you need to know what's going on. Here's the audio, and you'll have the actual video.
Howdy folks, I'm John Robert Maloney, here in my room at the Armed Forces Retirement Home in Gulfport, Mississippi. This is a declaration that has been making the rounds on the internet. I don't know who wrote it, or just where it originated, but it's rather important, so I'm going to read it. A declaration of civil war. Whereas, on Wednesday, 14 December 2011, the House of Representatives of the United States of America voted in the form of the National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2012 in favor of indefinite military detention without charges of citizens of the United States of America on United States soil without due process of law at the discretion of the government alone. Whereas, on Thursday, 15 December 2011, the Senate of these United States of America voted in favor of the same bill. Whereas, on Saturday, 31 December 2011, the President of the United States of America signed the same bill into law. Whereas, the prescription against the use of military force to police the populace has been an essential feature of American civic life and civic liberty since the arrival of our civilization upon this continent. Whereas, the wanton violation of this prescription was one of the chief causes of the separation of the American people from their government in Great Britain. Whereas, our divinely inspired Constitution of the United States of America, so chartering the government of these United States of America in Section 3 of Article 3, states that, quote, no person shall be convicted of treason unless on the testimony of 2 witnesses to the same overt act, or on confession in open court, close quote. Whereas, our divinely inspired Constitution of the United States of America, so chartering the government of these United States of America, in Amendment 5, states that no person shall be, quote, deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, unquote. Whereas, the House of Representatives, the United States these United States of America have disregarded the plain text of our divinely inspired Constitution of the United States of America. Whereas, in openly disregarding its founding document, the government of these United States of America has lost any semblance of legitimacy. Whereas, the use of such draconian measures has been an essential feature of the enforcement of tyranny by every totalitarian government of this and previous centuries. Whereas, the use of such draconian measures is carefully calculated to quash all political dissent amongst a captive people. Whereas, the codification of such draconian measures effectively nullifies all civil liberties the people may hope to hold. And whereas the codification of such draconian measures is an act of war against the population at large. Therefore, be it declared that as of this date, Sunday, 1 January 2012, New Year's Day, a state of war hereby now formally exists between the current government of these United States of America and the people of these United States of America, perpetrated by that government against the people. We, the people of these United States of America, do now declare that any and all attempts to enforce the provisions of the National Defense Authorization Act to be unlawful, void, and of no force. We declare all who voted in favor of the National Defense Authorization Act and all who attempt to enforce the National Defense Authorization Act to be traitors to these United States of America, punishable under law. We shall disobey, apprehend, or resist with force of arms at our discretion any person who attempts to enforce the provisions of the National Defense Authorization Act. We shall not aggress against any federal, state, or local government employee who shall not attempt to enforce or aid and abet the enforcement of the National Defense Authorization Act, they being as trapped as the rest of the populace. Such state of war shall continue until the National Defense Authorization Act is stricken from the code of law, and all who had a hand in National Defense Authorization Act are removed from positions of power. In this patriotic endeavor, we now appeal to the powers of heaven and the moral conscience of our fellow American citizens. And in this patriotic endeavor, just as our forefathers did, so do we now mutually pledge our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. May our God Almighty have mercy on all of us and bless these United States of America. Thank you.
Well, there you have it in a nutshell altogether. I was not aware. I was not aware, like I believe so many of you were not aware of this either. So leave me comments. I'm going to put the link below to the website and to the gentleman's video. Again, he doesn't use the cleanest of words, so try to overlook that, but I think it's very important information. And what is your take? What is your opinion as we search, especially us watchmen on the wall looking for end-time prophecy? And what is being censored from us? We knew this was being censored, and it went to an alternative website where we're supposed to enjoy freedom of speech, and they took it down. They took this post down. Leave me comments, everyone. I want your opinion and your honest comment. God bless everyone. Link will be below.